Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex for today's non-conference matchup between the Malone University Pioneers and your California Vulcans. My name is John Sape. Alongside me here today is my good buddy, Mr. Nathaniel Kurtzstein. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm living my life to its absolute fullest today, buddy. I mean, isn't it a wonderful day when you're up here at Phillipsburg?
Absolutely, and couldn't have picked a hotter day for this game, might I add, but I digress. We can get into some starters here for both teams. For your Vulcans, Smith and net, Panero, Odgaard, Morelli, Harrington at the back, Percival, Gretz, Billis, Wojtowicz, Sims, and Olsen in the midfield and in the attack. And then for the Pioneers, Starcher and net, DiPiero, Garrett at the back. Then we have Scherer, Mu, Byrus, Gradle, Miller, Zemer, Sizar, and Lamb in the midfield and attack. So both teams not off to the greatest starts of the season. The Vulcans 0-1-1 to start the year. The Pioneers 0-1 to start the year. So both teams looking for their first win in the season.
Yeah, I mean, regardless of sport, no matter what. I mean, you get these sort of even games, even if you're a good or a bad team to start the year off. So you're always hoping that games like these, you can come off and get a little bit of motivation from a win or just even a good performance.
And both teams not coming off the greatest of seasons last season, both on 4 wins. So looking to try to kind of exceed expectations as we get into the beginnings of this season. The Vulcans in white going from right to left to start the game. The Pioneers in a red and blue stripe going from left to right. Start things up. Wojtowicz goes down early. Be a quick foul and a free kick. A decent opportunity to just lay one in the box right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to get the ball down there very quickly. I mean, obviously getting that good start they had, and now they're also getting a good free kick opportunity here very early on in the beginning, so it's a good way to generate momentum for the rest of the half.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're very direct in those instances. It's going to be Gretz for your Vulcans standing over this one. 2-man wall for the Pioneers. 6 up in the box, including some of those big defensemen in the back. Morelli and Odgaard up there in and amongst the area. Ball played in. Headed away nicely there by the Pioneers and cleared away down the field. So the Vulcans with a ton of early pressure to start the game. It's going to be Smith. Vulcans playing out from the back. Gretz. Clip ball down the field, is able to find its target. Great touch by Billis. Billis going to go down again, and referee waiting to make a call. It's going to go the Vulcans' way, so another free kick in the attacking half. A little bit more hesitation on that one than on the first one.
I mean, as a coach, you definitely want your players to be more disciplined in situations like this, but it's also very early on in the season, and I mean, we were only 4 minutes into the game, so I mean, you can't kick them down too hard.
Yeah, no cards brandished quite yet. Nice floated ball into the box, and Olsen's header goes just over the net, but not before getting called offside. So the Vulcans showing a bit of threat to start the game, but the Pioneers luck out on that one. Good line held and an offside called.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a beautifully placed ball, just timed a little better, and easily could have led to a scoring chance here early on in the first.
And Olsen, who's going to have to step up in a big way for California in this season. Clip ball down the field, headed away nicely by Morelli. Sims looking for some help, able to get it back. Clip ball towards Olsen. Olsen flicks it on. It's a foot race now for Billis, who's able to get it into the corner. One-on-one Billis. Backs himself out, cleared out of bounds. Vulcan throw deep inside of the Pioneers' half.
I mean, already early on in this first, you're already seeing a lot of forward momentum going for the Vulcans in the offensive zone.
They're going to send Sims way up the field to take this throw. Tries to find it into the box. But good defense there by the Pioneers, able to get it out and can maybe start in a counterattack of their own. Clip ball down the field towards Lamb. Cleared away nicely again by Morelli. Vulcans heading it back and forth and finally able to get it under a little bit of control back to Smith.
And Smith was one of the players you saw early on when we started on that graphic, already having a decent start to the year, and he had himself a good year last year, so he's another player that the Vulcans are going to have to rely on for some good steady play in that.
Odgaard under a bit of pressure, able to get it off to Panero. Plays it back to Smith once again. Smith has time to pick out his target, able to get it up front to Olsen. One touch. Able to find Harrington, and Harrington trying to find Wojtowicz out wide right. That one just went a bit astray. So once again, the Vulcans with a ton of early possession here in this game. And just nice, steady, controlled pace of play so far. And maybe waiting to see the first opportunity here from the Pioneers. They're able to work their way up the field, win another throw. Quickly taken, player down on the ground, free kick. Going to go the way of the Pioneers. A little bit too strong that time from Odegaard out of the back.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what the Pioneers need early on. I mean, the ball's already been so far in their zone already, and just a little push like this can easily help sway some of that back towards their favor.
And Odegaard, the freshman from Stockholm, Sweden, making his way all the way to the States in the great town of California here. Gives up a free kick early on, and this is the chance for the Pioneers to strike. We saw the Vulcans get pretty close in one early on. 2 standing over the free kick here for the Pioneers. Clipped in towards the back post. Smith punches it away. Unclear. Thought maybe he could have come down and catch it, but took no chances. Punches that one out and out of play for a corner. So the first corner kick of the game going the way of the Pioneers.
I mean, all things considered, I would be better out of bounds than in the net. So, I mean, that's got to be the thought going through Smith's head.
It's going to be Sizar and Moo over in the corner, short corner, and taken quickly. Clipped in to the box by Sizar. That one cleared out and away. Headed on once more by Harrington. Fight for it. And won by Billis. Billis and Wojtovich 2-on-3. Nice back chop to get it away. And Billis just trying to kick it into some open space for Vulcan to run onto. But no one's there, so good opportunity for a counterattack for Cal. But a good recovery on the defensive end in the transition by the Pioneers. Inside towards Moo. We're looking for an option. The only option was Morelli, who cleared that one to the stands. A few rows, but underneath of us.
And our poor photographer down there, Michael, almost got his head taken out there. I saw him dive for a little bit.
Yeah, I trust him. He's an athletic monster. Slide tackle, beautifully won that time by Gretz, but the Pioneers get it right back. The Vulcans able to snatch that one away. Harrington kind of grabbed up, thought maybe a free kick was going to be called, but the referee didn't see it. Play plays on. Both players sliding forward. Odegaard coming out with the better of it, wins a second tackle before Olsen gets ran into the back. And the Pioneers get it back once again. A third tackle and a foul going to go away the California. Nice staunch defending there by Cal, just going in strongly for these tackles.
Yeah, and I mean, the Pioneers just can't get past it. I mean, the Vulcans' defense has just been eating them up no matter how much they try. So as the game progresses, you're going to hope that if you're the Pioneers, you're going to be able to break this.
38-25 left here in the first half. Score still 0-0. Quiet opening 7 or 8 minutes here, but still plenty of time to get underway. A foul going to be called as Harrington ran into the back of and pushed over by Scherer of the Pioneers. So free kick in the middle of the field here for Cal.
Yeah, and these fouls have also been allowing the Vulcans to move the ball down the field very easily and very quickly. So the Pioneers need to tighten up and be a bit more disciplined with their play.
Billis. Nice long diagonal towards Wojtovich on the right side. Wojtovich, quick, going to be able to get there. Wojtovich in the 1-on-1, nice move to get it across. And they're going to win a California corner of their own. Someone who played against Colin Wojtovich in high school. Very hard to get the ball off of him in spaces like that.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard the story from you so many times, but I mean, he's a talented player, and like I said, he's going to need to pick up a lot of the slack for this Vulcan team this year.
He's very good. Harrington on the set piece with the left foot, curling towards that back post. Olsen wins the header. No one there, but it's going to fall kindly for Wojtovich, who just clips it back in towards Morelli, who slams it home. Oh, my God.
That was an absolutely amazing play, and as our director Gary Smith told me before this game, tell him to bring out the lobster, because DJ Callan and these Vulcans are hungry for goals, and against this Pioneers team, they are proving that. What a beautiful play there by the Vulcans.
Wow, Morelli, pick that one out, man. Oh, my God. I'm surprised there isn't a hole in the back of the net. The defender getting up, showing off the finishing skills of a well-tenured striker, the junior out of Hermitage, Pennsylvania, with an absolute missile. Gives the Vulcans a 1-0 lead. 37:08 left to go here in the first half. And a beautiful start here for Cal.
I mean, yeah, obviously, like I said, like the ball movement has been absolutely amazing. They've been playing disciplined, and those free kicks have been able to get them down the field so quickly and get them those opportunities like that. And obviously now, look, Vulcans 1, Pioneers 0.
Unreal, man. Stuff that some professional center backs, they can only dream of the opportunity like that. The ball rising up, setting up perfectly for you to just strike on it, and Morelli that time took his opportunity and ran with it.
You never have one of those plays in your career, Johnny?
I've had a few, but it's been a while. That was the last goal I scored in high school was a volley like that, but with the left foot outside the box. Not to brag or anything, but Vulcan player taking down Olsen on that far side. Nothing called, and Pioneers play on. Scherer gives out to Zemer. Zemer under a ton of pressure. Harrington wins the throw-in on the near side. Gets it in quickly towards Billis. And Pioneer player down Billis. Looks like he may have lingered one of those legs into the chest of a Pioneer player down on the ground injured. And it's not a good start, especially with the weather conditions today. It's super, super hot. And it looks like that was Scherer of the Pioneers who's back on his feet. And hopefully everything's all right with him because they're going to need everyone they can in this game just because of how intense this weather has been this week especially.
I mean, yeah, with heat like this, it's easy to get fatigued easier, and it's easier to linger on and make plays like that, which can inadvertently cause injuries like that. And, I mean, it's something that as a commentator, as a spectator, as a player, you never want to see and you never want to feel.
Pinero gets it over to Morelli. Morelli, nice diagonal ball towards Wojtovich on the right side. Taken down, another free kick in and around the area for Cal. So we saw them capitalize on the last time. They were able to clip a ball into the box. And I think the Pioneers did a good job of dealing with the initial ball, but just couldn't get it out far enough. They kept keeping it inside near the box in their own half, and the Vulcans were able to capitalize. And so the Pioneers going to need to win some second chance balls if they're going to want to deal with this corner or this free kick. It's going to be Harrington with the left, clips it in, and it bounces a couple of times, and a header over the net, caught and saved, but not before being offside again. So another chance there for Cal, and once again the Pioneers just not dealing with the ball in the box.
Yeah, and I mean, the ball was put very low, so realistically you'd think it'd be a lot easier to deal with if you're on the defense, but they just let it through, and it leads to a header that could have led to another scoring opportunity. And again, it's the discipline of the Pioneer team that's been letting up all these free kicks and getting all these fouls. It's been allowing the Vulcans to get into the offensive territory so easily. Yeah,
some undisciplined play from the Pioneers so far to start the game, and I think it's kind of expected with the way that both of these teams have played in the last calendar year or so coming into today. Two teams that have not been at their best as of recently, so maybe expect a couple of speed bumps on the way towards mid-season form. But the Pioneers just playing a little bit too sloppy in the back, and one thing I was always taught was you can never let a ball bounce around in the box on a corner like that, and they've been letting them do so. And the Vulcans on the attack, cleared away after a nice run by Billis, and fight for it. And it looks like Moo going to be able to get it out here for the Pioneers. Now heading up the left side. Able to find Grader, who loses it to Wojtovich. Wojtovich looking for options. That one a little bit too strong for Harrington inside. Harrington wins it back, though. Harrington trying to find Billis on the diagonal run. The smart play by Starcher. It looks like Billis a little bit too strong on his run. Pushes down Garrett in the back there for the Pioneers, and it's going to win. A Malone another free kick. .32 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first half. So the Vulcans with a great opening 13 minutes or so. And this is kind of a strange spot to be in if you're a team where you already up 1-0 early on in the game, and kind of just the approach for the rest of the game, trying to push on for a second, trying to just hold on to the lead you have. Nice moves from Moo, who's able to get it out wide. And another offside call. I think if I was Moo, I'd be upset showing off the quick feet.
I mean, if you're the Vulcans, I think you just need to keep pressing that strength and that momentum you've already built up pretty early on in the game. I mean, they've been able to draw those kicks, and they've been able to get down in the zone pretty easily. So I think you just keep up on the attack, and eventually we see where things go at the end of the half.
The Vulcans break the Pioneer press, but Morelli's ball way too strong for Wojtovich. And from what I understand, because of the heat, I think that both teams and the officials have agreed upon a hydration break at some point in this first half. So about 5-10 minutes from that nice link-up play in front and by Billis. The ball headed back towards him. Billis and Chuang gets the touchdown, takes a second touch. It gets taken down in the box. Nothing called. The referee waves it off, and that is such a close call. He had a good view, but it's so hard to do it in and around the box. Garrett going to get away with that one. The Vulcans not going to get away with a foul in the midfield, though.
And Billis is still lingering behind, too. I think still just trying to catch his breath. I mean, obviously, as we've talked about, it's been a really hot day, and running around like this already, it's got to be exhausting. And then getting taken down like that in the box, I mean, man's already got to be pretty exhausted himself as he's lingering back through the midfield now.
The freshman out of Troy, Michigan, doing a lot so far here for California. And, again, that is such a tough call to make if you're a referee. To me, initially thought it was maybe a foul, but obviously the referee had a better view of that incident than I did. So we play on. Sims able to cut the pass out into the corner. Pioneers win a throw-in on the near side. Taken quickly. And then towards Sizar. But Harrington able to get a foot on it. Pioneers going to let this one roll out for another throw-in. Miller. Or Zemer, excuse me. Looking for an option. Able to get it forward towards Lamb. Knocked out of play by Gretz. So slowly working their way up the field are the Pioneers. Lamb chested down. Able to get it back towards Miller. Nice ball towards the back post. Wojtovich there to clear, but not as far as DiPiero. Low shot. Just always going wide. Just dragged that one off the right foot and a dribbler out of play.
I mean, it was a nice opportunity in the corner. A beautifully placed ball. Just no one there to finish it off, and the defense was able there to cut it off. And, I mean, that was a nice play by the Pioneers. Just able to get the ball back down the field and press the Vulcans a bit more.
First real attacking opportunity we've seen from the Pioneers so far. But still putting on the pressure. Panero has to clear it all the way. That one a little bit too high for Olsen. So the Pioneers able to reset back to their keeper, Starcher. Gets it over to DiPiero. DiPiero in the midfield, nice tackle in the middle that time. Put out a play by Percival. And the Vulcans fighting for it in and around on that far side. It's going to be a throw-in towards the Pioneers. Taking it quickly. Scherer gets all the way back to Starcher. Starcher with a low ball, able to find its target and move. Clip ball down the field. Header won by Udgard. Morelli steps in and able to clear that one away for California, but played right back in again. Morelli wins the header down to the feet of Zemer, who plays it forward towards Gradle, but it's going to be Percival again, able to get inside. Gratz works out wide to Wojtovich, and great play from the Vulcans. Wojtovich trying to find Olsen and nearly finds Billis on the far side, put out a play.
And I mean, now we're at the point where both just poking at each other. The Pioneers have been getting some nice plays in the midfield to get the ball over through into their zone, but there's not much happening now.
Battle for it on the far side. Nice turn away from Lamb. Able to just switch the field. Smith coming off his line. And smartly just going to let that one run out of play. Substitution now here for California. It's going to be the first one from either team of the half. It's going to be Wojtovich checking out of the game. And I believe it's going to be number 14 coming into the game here for Cal, Daniel. I can't really tell because it's a little far away. So
I mean,
once he turns, once the player turns his back,
and we can see his
it'll
numbers
be a little bit easier to see. Completely wrong. It's going to be number 24, Zach Vanek, coming into the game here for Cal. I saw the 4, but I couldn't see if it was a 1 or a 2. So Vanek in for Cal for Wojtovich. Ball one in the middle of the field and trying to be played forward towards Billis. And Billis trying to win the ball back, and he's going to do so cleanly. Going to get called for the foul. The Pioneers go quickly. Now wide to Zemer. Zemer looking for an option, gets it forward. Sizar gets it back into the corner. Nice back heel flick onto Byrus. Sizar inside, and with the left foot, able to finish that one. Sends the keeper the wrong way, and the Vulcans turn off on the defensive end, and the Pioneers capitalize, tie things up at 1 with 25:51 in the first half.
Yeah, and it's almost as if you saw that switch just flip. It was almost as if the Pioneers were just able to easily pick their targets. They knew exactly where they wanted to go, and it's like the Vulcans just couldn't keep up with them, which obviously could be the fatigue starting to come in. I mean, the Vulcans had that very early push on, scored that goal, and now the Pioneers have saved up some of their energy, come back now and tied it up.
Yeah, this defense has not been the strong point here for Cal, I think is fair to say, this season. Suffered a 4-0 defeat to Frostburg on the opening day before a 1-1 draw with Fairmont. So giving up 1 goal against Fairmont is I think a pretty good result, but 4 to Frostburg stings, and the Pioneers able to go quickly again. Byrus has a ton of space to try to pick out a player, cleared out of the back. It's going to come off. It's going to come off of Byrus out of play. So goal kick 1 here for Cal.
And I mean, that's a bit more luck there too, because I mean, imagine that you score a goal and almost immediately drive back up the field and get the ball back into the California net, and turning on not looking too hot for the Vulcans.
Yeah, I think Cal just had the opportunity a little bit to kind of just push things. They had all the momentum there for the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the game, but slowly but surely, over the last 5 or 10 minutes or so, it's been all Malone. Sims gets it back to Pinero. Morelli, not Udgard, under a bit of pressure. Able to pass it off to Pinero now. Pinero in his corner. Malone sending the press up high. That one clipped. One back by Malone, but headed into a dangerous spot. Percival able to get a couple feet on it. The Lamb able to come away with it. Nice link-up play between Malone, but Morelli on the scene, able to clear that one away.
I mean, same thing with that sequence there. It's almost as if Malone's just able to pick their targets and find exactly who they want and where they want it. And, again, it's what I said. I think, honestly, it's going to be the fatigue starting to kick in. I mean, at home you may not be able to feel it with your fans and air conditioning, but it's a solid 90-something degrees out. And, in a booth, it's not the coldest. So I'd imagine on the field it's not much better for them.
Especially on, that artificial, turf that they play on. Not great. Clip ball towards the front post. It's going to come off of Morelli and Sizar trying to win it. Corner 1 there for Malone. And another chance to strike here for the Pioneers. Vulcans have just been on the back foot for the latter portion of the second half that we played so far. It's going to be Moo on the far side to take it. Look at Sizar at the top of the box all alone. A couple members of the Pioneers all alone at the top of the box. Moo plays it in. Battle for it. Bouncing around. Really able to head it away. Brought down by Sizar. Sizar 1 touch, 2 touch. Left-footed shot. That one dragged wide and out of play.
Yeah, and I think if you're the Vulcans here, you just need to get one strong push in and drive the ball upfield, or maybe not, as I'm completely wrong, as we get a whistle.
And it looks like that's going to be the hydration break opportunity here for both teams. That's going to stop the clock with 22:47 left to play. Both teams going to head back over to their bench, drink up, try to talk some strategy, and take a nice break here after this hot first half. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Header won by Malone, but Odegaard going to let that one bounce. Fight for it on the far side and push down to the ground is Vanek on that far side.
And I mean, after that push from Malone, Johnny, how do you think the Vulcans should adjust their strategy now, going into this out of this hydration break?
I think just as long as you're able to get to the half without being down a goal, I think the tie game in half, anything's possible. So I think obviously you'd like to add another goal, but just making sure that you can keep yourself in the game. If you can keep things level, then that's fine. But as long as you don't fall behind, I think anything can happen. But Panera gets caught on the ball. Great recovery, able to win it away from Lamb. Great touch and great move away by Harrington, trying to find Billis. Gets that one cut out. Rifkin looking for it, clipped away. Lamb able to win it back for the Pioneers. Lamb, nice ball down the field towards Byrus. Byrus getting run down by the Vulcans, by McNeil, who's also another substitution during that hydration break. Rifkin able to kick that one off of Byrus and out of play.
And the beautiful physical defense, they're able to drive them off into the side. And I mean, now you're going to get the ball forced down the other side of the field.
Rifkin trying to get away with taking a few extra yards up the field on this throw. The referee motioning him to go back. Long throw won by the Pioneers. Brought down by Sizar. Sizar with the turn. Morelli right there again. All the way out towards Vanek. Morelli. Over towards Panero. Odegaard now. Odegaard with a ton of space on this right side. Olsen gets that one poked out of play. The Vulcans able to get themselves up the field and out of their own half.
Yeah, and then slowly moving back up the field again. That's what the Vulcans won coming out of the hydration break. And it's a tie game, so they don't have to feel the pressure too much. But you got 20 minutes left in the half, so you just want to hope they're able to get something done.
Nice diagonal ball. Byrus with a fancy touch, but no one for the Vulcans. Able to get on the end of it. It's now the Pioneers' turn to go the other way. 20 minutes in running here in the first half. Lamb Gets it back. Scherer able to turn away. Garrett. Great intricate passing play here from the Pioneers, able to work their way out of a jam. DiPiero. Lamb. Back out wide to DiPiero. Trying to find the inside man that time. And Cesar, that one cleared away from by California.
Yeah, I mean, since the ball first dropped, I mean, the passing of Malone has already shown that it's been excellent. I mean, they scored that goal mostly off of the excellent passing, able to break through that Vulcan defense. And you're seeing now they're able to put themselves back in the offensive zone just simply by passing the ball.
The Vulcans seem to have had the number, but Malone definitely have been a better team as of the last 10 minutes or so. Smith gets it back. Under pressure, has to clear it away. I think Rifkin didn't think he didn't have the chance to get to it. That one goes out of play. Zemer. Deep throw trying to find Cesar. And Pinero not taking any chances that time, just clears that one away. Zemer. Clip balled. Odegaard able to head it away. Moo. Gets it out wide to DiPiero. DiPiero on the right foot, curling it towards the back post. That one too strong for its intended target. There's Byrus on this near side. Not a play, but good idea from the Pioneers.
Yeah, I mean, Vulcans are going to get their hands on the ball again with around 18 minutes left now. And I mean, if you're the Vulcans, you got to hope that you're going to be able to get one last big push in here. I mean, I know there's still 18 minutes left on the board, but I mean, all of this pushing, all this momentum has gone mostly in the favor of Malone here in the past few minutes.
Yeah, but to the Vulcans' credit, they've been under a ton of pressure, but it hasn't resulted in a ton of clear-cut opportunities after the goal was given up. So California, even though they did concede, they're kind of able to steady the ship and able to keep things going. Clip ball, trying to find Byrus, just ends up into the hands of Starcher for the Pioneers. So this is the problem with California so far, is once they're able to just finally get possession, they haven't been entirely clinical with it, just giving away pretty quickly after they win it back.
Yeah, I mean, they've been pushing themselves up towards the midfield and even in through the midfield, but after that, it's mostly just been giving the Pioneers just easy chances and allowing them to get in their own zone and create these passing plays that have created chances.
McNeil. Out wide towards Vanek. Vanek getting ran back. Odegaard with the turn, going to get pushed down. And Odegaard maybe finds himself a bit fortunate because that was maybe a better tackle made by the Pioneers. It could have been a one-on-one between Gradle and Smith and net.
Well, yeah, it's just that Swedish strength. He was able to hold himself there and draw that.
Just the Europeans do it different, man, I'm telling you. Scandinavia.
Do you know from
something about it.
Do you know from experience?
Do I know from experience?
Yeah, are you European? Are you Scandinavian?
I'm not, but
Yeah.
I've played against a fair few in my day. Morelli getting tripped up, but referee allowing the team to play on. Nice spin pass from McNeil. I don't think his team would have, if he would have lost that, could have seen maybe some sprinting after the game, but worked off, and nice smart play once again by the Pioneers, just heading it back to the keeper and able to quash any attack that the Vulcans may have had. Olsen wins the header. And it looks like Byrus getting a little bit angry after the play that just happened. Those two just had a bit of an infraction around the box. Not even 10 seconds before, it was Byrus and Garrett. And Byrus showing off a bit of his frustration.
I think one thing worth noting here is that definitely if you're Malone, you've noticed that they've played a lot more disciplined here going into the further half of this game, and they haven't given up nearly as many free kicks as they did as when the game started, and I mean it's worked in their favor. They tied the game back up, and they're gonna have another chance up here.
Yeah, like you said, Malone have definitely cut down on the fouls, and have had a large chunk of this possession so far. Looks like those two, and Zemer and Byrus just not on the same page that time. McMill able to get it out wide left to Rifkin. Rifkin playing it infield. Olsen comes down with the touch. Olsen breaks through. Olsen has a chance, and Olsen scores! California just like that. Against the run of play, it's been all Malone for 15 minutes. And that doesn't matter to Cal as Olsen slots it home and gives the Vulcans the lead once again.
I mean, that was beautiful. Like, as we mentioned, that they kept putting the ball past that midfield and then just letting the keeper get to it. But that time, they're finally able to find that hole. Rifkin's able to put that on a needle. And call me asparagus, because you didn't see any green, actually. All you saw was that white dot there in the green. Sorry, I'm having to go through my DJ Khaled quotes tonight.
Yeah, like you said, just Vulcan's finally able to get good possession, and Rifkin on that cross, I mean, he can put a camel through the eye of a needle. He's able to just find Olsen inside, and Olsen did the rest. Olsen had a ton of work to do. He was able to get around the defender, work it onto his right foot, and slot that one home. So the Vulcans, with 14:28 left to go here in this first half, have a 2-1 lead.
And I mean, what can Josh Rifkin do? I mean, that man's an absolutely beautiful videographer. If you don't know, that man also has a page called Riff Visions. He's worked with the NBA at the NBA draft before, and now he's threading needles here on the field. I mean, what can he do?
And an opportunity for the Pioneers, and they're nearly able to tie it up. Cesar had a header, and Smith came out to go for it.
And Smith was not happy. He saw he was maybe using some choice words that I don't know if we could particularly use.
The Vulcans, as soon as they score again, give up a golden opportunity. Cesar with a header just wide. Smith came off of his line to try to go for it, and the Vulcans get away with it. Bilas trying to find McMill. Smith towards Olsen, headed away. Malone still on the attack. Byrus trying to get around Rifkin. Byrus with the cross towards the back post. Nobody there. Bit too strong. It's going to be Vanek trying to get it out, pinned into his own corner. Vanek able to get out and get around him. Great job by Vanek, able to get it up and get it away.
Yeah, beautiful play. I mean, I think he definitely wanted to let that just run out of the zone, but it just didn't have enough steam, and they have somebody down on the sideline now.
I think after that run, Vanek a little bit slow back onto his feet, but back to his feet he gets. Two substitutes for Malone waiting to be allowed in. Panera now in the corner. Malone setting up the press once again. McMill again with the spin pass, but this one doesn't find a target, and Morelli able to get that one clear out of the back, so it's going to be another corner here for the Pioneers, as referee allowing both substitutions back onto the field now.
I mean, again, I think that's also got to be a really big thing here with the Heat, is just these fresh bodies who haven't been running around getting themselves all worked up and fatigued. And I mean, especially with a prima opportunity like this, you have to hope that they can play a factor.
Zemer going to take the corner. It's going to be Harris in Bibza coming in here for the Pioneers. Towards the back post, Smith punches it away and had to. So that one looked like it was curling in towards the back post.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get another shot here, but now it's a beautiful save by Smith, and once the Vulcans breathe for another minute here and see the light of day.
Excuse me, that was Worthmuller on the corner. And now all the way over onto the other side of the field to take this long throw. Worthmuller, long throw in, headed away by Cal. And cleared all the way up the field by Harrington. The Vulcans able to get themselves out and able to just break a little bit. And as a man that used to be able to take long throws like that, I can absolutely respect it. That was the one part of my game that was actually good, was being able to take long throw-ins like that, because it just acts as another set piece for your team. It allows your team to get some bodies forward, has a chance, kind of like a corner. And when the ball bounces around in the box, anything can happen.
The key word there was used to.
Yeah, I'm old and washed now, so.
Yeah, I'm only at the ripe age of 21.
Yeah, I mean, it's too late for me. But not for these guys.
No, they're killing it out there.
They all are, as Vulcan's able to press and able to win it back. Bylis getting ran into, and that's going to be a free kick. And I wouldn't be surprised, and they're going to stop the clock, and going to be a card brandish here for Garrett, because Garrett got a hold of Bylis in the back before even having the opportunity to get the ball. So yellow card towards Garrett, the first one of the game for either team.
Yeah, and Bellis is taking a bit of a beating. I mean, he had that tackle early on in the box, and now that, I mean, again, with all this fatigue, we mentioned it earlier, it's going to take a strain on the body, and with 10 minutes left now, you have to hope that you're just able to hold out until the half.
Yeah, it's standing at 6'3", 170, just a big body up front, just a big target man, able to run on into the channels, onto these like long balls, and able to hold play up, and that's the problem when you are that type of striker, a hold-up striker, you're going to get fouled a lot, and that time Garrett did not let Bylis turn and did not let him even have the chance.
Yeah, just don't let me ever get on his bad side, because I don't want a 6'3" man weighing 170 to ever raise his fist towards me.
Harrington won the free kick. Not caught, bobbled by Starcher. The Vulcans still have an opportunity. Vanek. It's going to be a whistle blown as he's going to get called for the foul. And Malone have a chance to catch their breath. And Malone wanted to go quickly. And the whistle blown. I think referee going to brandish a yellow card here for Cal. That one's going to go to Harrington because he tried to stand in the way of the quick free kick taken. And the referee, I think, trying to explain to him that it isn't his job to make sure that he doesn't let the free kick happen. It's his job to let them know when they can take it. And I don't think Harrington and the Vulcans are going to take too kindly to that one. All I know is it's a ton of unfun paperwork for our referee here today to fill out, and it's not stuff that I like to do. I like to do whenever I used to referee. It was not very fun, but at this level, it's something that is probably expected even after an infraction like that.
Man, if you think it gives them something to do at the end of the day, you're not just sitting around doing nothing with yourself.
Fair enough. Rifkin under pressure, able to clear that one up. Bylis trying to bring that down with the first touch. It's going to end up going out of play. Malone throw. Both teams have substitutes. They're making their way onto the field. Herndon for California. Going in at right back. It's going to be McCoy coming in up front here for Cal for the last 9:14 left here in the first half. Morelli able to clear that one out, but only got it as far as the Malone midfield. Worthmuller. Beautiful diagonal ball out to the left side. Tons of space, but and the right idea, trying to find Leheron on the far side, but left way too much on and out of play.
Yeah, and I mean, that was the start of a beautiful sequence, just a little too much gas on that pass since it out of bounds, and what could have been a great opportunity for the Pioneers just goes to waste.
But you're not a rapper, though.
No, I am not a rapper. I mean, I could easily start whenever I want, but I don't think I have the bars for it.
I mean, you just had too much gas on the pass. I mean, that's pretty...
Listen, my mixtape would have that line and then just utter silence for the rest of it. Well, maybe those DJ Khaled lines I said earlier. Maybe that, too.
Call me asparagus.
And tell them to bring out the lobster.
Tell them to bring it out. It's much of the same story. The Vulcans got the first goal as Smith under a ton of pressure, able to get it away. But as soon as the Vulcans scored the goal, it's been all Malone here in this second, like right afterwards. So California able to get a goal ahead, but each and every time it seems like as soon as they get a goal, Malone, it's like their opportunity to wake up and try to get back into the game.
Yeah, but it creates for some great action. I mean, I can't say that there's been a moment in this game that I haven't enjoyed so far.
The referee not allowing the substitute for Cow to come on, forcing the Vulcans to take the throw. Ball played all the way back to Pinero. Pinero clip ball with the left foot. Garrett able to head it away. Werthmuller trying to turn away from Gretz. Nice ball on the outside. Able to find Leheron. Leheron has a chance to get it in the box. Odegaard cuts it off. Great transition defense from the Vulcans. Herndon able to get around one, but not the second. But able to get back and recover. But Malone's continue to fight. Werthmuller trying to do it all here for the Pioneers. Took the shot with the left foot, but that one always bouncing and always going high and out of play.
Yeah, and I mean, he had no other choice. I mean, with Herndon and Odegaard right next to him, I mean, you have no choice but to try and force something, and it just doesn't work for him.
Another substitution for Cal. Harrington going to come off the field. It's going to be number 20, Marshall Richter, coming onto the field here for Cal. 6:28 remaining. Shout out to our good friend, Mr. Colin Kirkwood, watching down there in Frostburg, Maryland. As Malone looking threatening once again. And it's going to be Pinero kicking that one out of play. Another throw deep inside of the Vulcan territory.
And, you know, with 6 minutes left, you really don't want these opportunities for the Vulcans. I mean, you just retook that lead back earlier off of a beautiful sequence, and you just do not want to give that back up with only 6 minutes left.
Werthmuller takes the long throw, but plays it a bit short. Able to get it back. Clip ball towards the back post with the left foot. It's going to be a foul against the Pioneers. I think once again it's going to be Garrett. Going to get called with the infraction. Has to be careful, but when you have a bunch of bodies jumping around in the box like that, arms are always going to be thrown, and it's always going to be pretty hard to try to get away with a foul in there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a bit of a heart sinker for the Pioneers, but I mean, for the Vulcans, this is a great opportunity for you with 5 minutes left.
Odegaard's ball forward, able to find Bilas. He's able to turn away. Has Rifkin in a ton of space here on the outside. Left-footed ball towards the back post, and just couldn't quite get the strike on it that maybe he would have liked, and goes away not only from the goal but also from anyone from the Vulcans, and ends up out of play.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to find that open chance there for one of his teammates to come in and head it in, but left a little too much air on the ball and just floats its way out of bounds. And there was a prime scoring opportunity for the Vulcans to get themselves up 3-1 at the end of the half, but just not going to let it happen.
4.5 minutes left, and the Vulcans with make another substitution. And the winner of the name game today, number 23, Rutger Randall, coming in here for California.
I still think that title will always go to Daniel.
Daniel also another prime candidate as Randall. On the ball right now, able to win it away from Garrett. Randall working his way towards that corner, and able to try to find Rifkin. Rifkin trying to kick it off of Malone, player out of play, but Pioneers able to keep it in. Great turning. Good job from the Pioneers, able to get out of their own end deep inside. Sizar able to win another free kick here for the Pioneers. Referee having a word with one of the Malone players. Looks like it's Zemer on this near side, trying to explain to the referee what happened to him, and was wondering why nothing was called, because I saw Zemer put his hands on the referee and show him that he was pushed.
And what a sequence by Randall in the corner. He was able to hold on to that ball very easily, and just Rifkin wasn't able to find anything with it, and ends up with the possession of the Pioneers, but nice sequence by him.
Randall putting on the pressure onto Garrett. Morelli clears that one into the sands. As before the game, Gary and I have deemed the press box here at the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex De Casa de Kiefer.
Well, I mean, we had two Kiefers in here today.
We did, and that's why it is the House of Kiefer. Shot from Malone. Only finds Odegaard, and the Vulcans able to clear it away. Werthmuller. Out wide towards Metz. Metz trying to find his teammate up front. The Vulcans able to get in the way, but Pioneers win it back again. 2:28 left to go here in the first half. Worthmuller able to find Metz on the left side. Metz ball into the corner towards Leheron. That one going to get kicked out for a throw. I think Worthmuller going to make his way up, and it looks like maybe the Pioneers going to send a couple of their members on the defensive end at least into the box to try to win this long throw-in.
And I mean, again, with almost 2 minutes remaining now, this is a great opportunity for them to try and tie this game back up.
Worthmuller's throw. It goes all the way to Smith. Great piece of keeping that time from Smith, and gets the pat on the head from his defender in Morelli.
And what a beautiful pass that was. I mean, that's insane. Sign him up for the football team, man. He threw that on a dime.
The football team, get that man onto the track team. That man can probably can throw a javelin like you couldn't believe. Randall putting the pressure on the offensive end. Great turn and putting a leg in, but no foul called. So it looked like McNeil got taken down after there was a leg lingered from the Pioneers and a couple of pushing back and forth from either team.
And I mean, if you saw the referee too, he gave him a little bit of a wag of a finger and said, "No, be careful, don't do that."
Yeah, it was Bibsba for the Pioneers, who looked like he lingered a leg and was caught up in a couple of pushing matches there in and around the middle of the field, but it's going to go the Pioneers' way. Free kick taken. Ball played out wide towards Metz. Herndon putting on some pressure. Cleared all the way up the field by Odegaard. And the Vulcans able to bring their line back up the field. Starcher telling his team to get up the field, but his pass only goes as far as McCoy, and the Vulcans have a chance. McNeil trying to find Randall on this near side, but McNeil gets it back. McNeil working onto the right foot, and it's going to go off his hands and into the net. You cannot believe it. 2 mistakes in the span of 10 seconds from Joshua Starcher. First, the pass, trying to get it up the field, but only gets it to McCoy. And McNeil with the shot just to relieve some pressure with 8 seconds left in the half off of Starcher's hands and into the net. A player for Malone who on this roster was listed in the reserve players, so I wasn't sure if he was going to make an appearance today, and junior goalkeeper just giving up a golden opportunity. The Vulcans take a 3-1 lead, and that's the end of the first half.
I mean, call me Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because, I mean, you just heard that ball crunch off his hands and go straight into the net. That's insane. I cannot believe that's the way we end the half here. The Vulcans take a 3-1 lead.
I think they'll take that every day of the week. We're going to take a quick break from the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex. California 3, Malone 1. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1 and the PSAC Network. And welcome back to the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex for the start of the second half. This non-conference game between California and Malone University. The Vulcans with a 3-1 lead in that first half, or after the first half, excuse me. But I don't think the scoreline kind of tells the whole story. The Vulcans definitely had the better opportunities, but it seemed like Malone had a fair stretch of the possession, had a fair stretch of their own opportunities themselves, and it just seems like the California was able to capitalize on them a bit more.
Yeah. I mean, if you ignore the last goal scored at 8 seconds, I mean, it was a very close game, a lot of action. I mean, both these teams going at each other. Malone was displaying a beautiful passing game, while California had themselves a very, very, very well planned out offensive game plan. And, I mean, obviously you hope they're going to be able to carry that out within the second half here. And the sun's gone down a bit, the temperature's gone down a bit, so if you're lucky, you may just get more action here.
Yeah, thankfully for us, the sun has gone down, so it isn't 100 degrees in the booth. Back in this first half, the goal scored 7 minutes and 53 seconds in by Morelli with that powerful right-footed shot on the volley. Colin Wojtovich getting credited with the assist on that one. And then 18:59 into the first half, Gavin Cesar getting the goal assisted by Anthony Burris, able to tie things up to the Vulcans with a lead for about 11 minutes. And then, like we talked about, 30 minutes, 20 seconds left in the first half. Brady Olson able to get himself on the score sheet. Rifkin able to pass it into him, and then Olson just does the rest, able to get around his defender, work it onto the right foot, and slot it home. And like you talked about, right at the brink of the first half, 44 minutes and 47 seconds, so 13 seconds left in the first half. And McMeal able to take the long shot with the right foot and comes off of the keeper Starcher's hands into the net. And that's how we get to where we're at now.
I mean, coming into this, do you think Starcher was 100% ready for this? I mean, on our sheet itself, he was listed as a reserve player, so I think maybe he wasn't 100% ready going into this, and maybe the nerves got to him a little bit. But hoping coming into the second half, you're going to get a much tighter game here, a much more disciplined game. I mean, you saw near the end of that first half, Malone took way less fouls. They were playing a way cleaner game, and it was the small mistakes that got to them, but they tightened those up, and I think we're looking at a very tight game here.
Looking at a few stats from the first half, 6 shots for California, 4 on target compared to 2 for Malone, 1 on goal for the Pioneers, 3 corners for Malone compared to 1 for Cal, 7 fouls for Malone compared to the 6 for the Vulcans, 1 yellow card each for either team, 1 for Garrett for the Pioneers, 1, I believe, for Harrington for California. So both of them have to be a little bit careful. And like I mentioned, it seems like the Vulcans with the lion's share of the shooting stats, of the chances on net, but it seemed like Malone was very comfortable, especially in that middle passage of the first half, where they were able to play the ball around, able to just work it around. And I think after that first half, there is a change in net for the Malone Pioneers. Number 26, Grant Mastrioni, now into the net for the Pioneers, the sophomore out of Dover, Ohio, going to take the reins in between the sticks for the Pioneers.
And, I mean, if you look at the shots itself, you see the quantity over quality. Malone was getting very, very intense rushes into the box, and they were getting some very primo opportunities there. And to get one now, too.
Whistle blown right after the first half kickoff. Handball going to be called against the Pioneers when we get back underway. Wojtovich for Cal going to get ran down by Harris from the Pioneers. So Harris going to get whistle blown twice against him in the span of 10 seconds to start the half. Morelli. Sims now on the far side. Able to force it off of a Pioneer, not a play.
And as I mentioned again, it's, California, they were peppering the net. They were throwing those in from the midfield, just getting them on net and, letting up some of those more quality chances. But, I mean, as we saw at the end of the first there, that quantity over quality strategy worked for them. I mean, they were able to get a mistake from the goalkeeper and score a third goal and give them a 2-goal lead.
And so Malone's starting off the second half a little bit like they started off the first half, where 2 quick fouls already. We're not even 2 minutes into the second half. And so we saw Malone when they had that dominant possession stretch, they were able to stay disciplined. But so far in the start of the second half, beginning much like it. Now Olsen able to get the header on. Ball into the box. Everyone leaves it alone. Percival out wide to Sims. Sims trying to clip it in with the left foot. Just couldn't get enough on it and cleared away for a Vulcan throw.
I thought that one was going to go over the fence for a second. Yeah, I mean, Malone just getting it out of the zone. I mean, yeah, I know I just mentioned that they played more disciplined at the end of the first half, but Malone, again, just need to find that tightness and play a little more disciplined here to start the second.
Wojtovich on the end of it, trying to cut it back, but good defense once again from the Pioneers. Wojtovich almost able to win it back, but ends up at the feet of Lamb. And now it's Harris going from all the way down the field. McNeil doing his best to catch up. Harris able to turn the corner on the outside. It's going to be a throw-in. McNeil very, very close to maybe getting a card there, and it looks like actually it's going to be a corner here for the Pioneers.
And I mean, what a beautiful play there, just absolutely running it end to end, and he gave himself a prime scoring opportunity there. I think he ran out of gas as he got to the end.
And Harris was able to turn the corner, but McNeil strong enough to get him out of the way. It's going to be Worth Muller and Moo on this near side with the corner. Worth Muller on the left foot, Moo on the right. So just seeing which way they want to swing this. They're going to take Moo's right foot. That one cleared away at the near post. Clip back in. Falling awkwardly, but the Vulcans able to get it out. Only as far as Bilas, who loses it immediately. It's going to fall beautifully for Lamb here. Lamb cuts it onto the right foot. Great recovery on the defensive end that time from Panero, who's able to get it out.
Yeah, no, actually, I thought that was Morelli, but, I mean, absolutely beautiful. I mean, just able to get that slide in there, stop the offensive opportunity, and I think there's been a bit of miscommunication here with the Vulcans so far. I mean, you just saw Ogard was shouting something on the near side here when Harris was making that run down the side, and you're going to get a bit of that here to start the second half.
Yeah, the ball fell straight for Lamb, and it seemed like time stopped for a second. Lamb probably should have taken that first time, tried to cut it onto his right foot, and ends up out of play. It's going to be a free kick going California's way. Odegaard. And Guard gets it back. Forward towards Wojtovich. Wojtovich trying to turn into a bit of space. It's going to come off of him out of play. Referee making sure Worthmuller doesn't take advantage of the space allotted to him. Long throw in. And Smith calls everyone off and takes control of the situation and able to come out and collect the ball.
And I think for the Vulcans, it's just going to be nice to just stop, pause, talk with each other a little bit, communicate, because I mean, starting off the second half, there's been a little bit of lack of communication between the defenders, and hopefully we see that now at this small stoppage.
I know it's a bit of a cliche thing to talk about, but they always say a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous thing to have in a game, because teams can never decide whether or not they want to sit back and attack, or they want to sit back and hold on to their lead, or try to add on a few more. Good defense that time for California. Gretz able to get back, able to cut off a pass, and plays that one out and behind for a corner. So another corner going Malone's way, setting a few bodies forward. Another prime opportunity for them to take advantage of.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a very dangerous chance inside the box. Beautiful pass, and just a nice cutoff there, not allowing that pass. And even though the ball goes out, allowing for the corner kick, doesn't get you that prime opportune scoring chance there.
Moo on the set piece. In-swinger towards the near post. Woodgard again with the header at the near post. Worthmuller able to win the second ball, able to get it forward towards Harris. Worthmuller plays it back in, headed away again from California. Vulcans trying to get their line up. But Malone with possession, Moo back on side, comes down, beautiful touch, collects it, plays it out wide, the cross in. All the way across the ground, nobody from the Pioneers able to come across and tap that one home. Great hustle on the far side, but great ball on this outside. I believe it was Fuller number 16, who played that one across from the left foot all the way across the box, and no one was there.
Yeah, and I mean, absolutely beautiful ball placement here from the Pioneers, and they've been displaying that all game. The passing has been on point. The ball movement has been on point. It's been having to go up against that interior of the Vulcan defense.
And if you're Fuller there, that is one of the worst feelings in the world, where you play such a perfect pass, because that's exactly what you want, especially if you're a forward, just the ball into the space with no one there on the other end. That one kicked out of play from California, so it's going to be another throw in deep in their half, and anytime Worthmuller is on the field here for the Pioneers, it's always going to be a set-piece opportunity if the ball is in and around the area. So Garrett comes forward here for the Pioneers. Looks about 7 or 8 in the box. Worthmuller's throw all the way, and the bounce is going to end up going all the way past and out of play on the far side behind the net. Another long throw in that the Vulcans weren't able to handle.
I mean, that's just pure skill. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. I mean, I know I mentioned the football team earlier. I was corrected by our producer, Gary Smith. They don't have a football team, but they do have a track team. And I think you were right, man. I think absolutely beautiful throws. And, I mean, he threw a javelin probably across this entire field. I mean, that was on point.
It takes a certain type of skill. I'm saying this because I could do it, so that was the only thing that I could do. But at the same time, it is not the Vulcans just haven't been able to handle it. Maybe not something that they're quite used to seeing a whole ton of. As Harris goes down after a tackle made, and Harris able to work himself into a good position, surrounded by 3 Vulcans. One of them finally takes a bite at him. So free kick and a good opportunity. So another chance for the Pioneers to just float one into the box and have some of these big, tall defenders to run on and try to get a head on.
Yeah, and I mean, you're looking at it now. It's the undisciplined play has been on the side of the Vulcans. They've been allowing for this ball movement. This is another kick they've allowed, and hopefully it doesn't lead to another opportunity.
Worthmuller and Moo go short. Ball played back out wide towards Worthmuller. Trying to come down with it. Worthmuller going to get fouled just outside the box, rolling around in pain. Foul going to go against Wojtovich, and you heard it immediately after the contact was made. You heard the scream. Back to his feet and stumbling is Worthmuller. Now has to sit back down on the ground, and hopefully doesn't need to seek any treatment, but I think
he's called over to the bench. I think he's going to get either subbed out or you're going to get a trainer out here.
Yeah, he's going to take a knee. I think Wojtovich just caught him on that ankle. We talked about it a couple times previously, but in these games, not a whole lot of no padding really. You have shin guards and you have your cleats, and there's always that kind of weak spot there where if you're a player where it's just on that ankle, where it's right in between where your shin guard would be and where maybe like the top of your boots start, and so prime place for you to just get all types of nicks and just get kicked and things like that, and it is not the most fun to deal with. Incredibly painful, but Worthmuller back to the bench, getting subbed out. He was able to get onto his feet and make it off on his own accord, so definitely a good sign from him. And it's going to be number 22, Andreas Isaga, but into the game here for the Pioneers, is the referee talking to Wojtovich in the 2-man wall there for California, just trying to explain what's going on and making sure the distances are all right. And it's going to be Moo over top of this free kick here for the Pioneers. Moo's ball too strong. Looks like he got caught in between wanting to take the shot and wanting to float that one in. Try to get it towards that far side, but put too much on it out of play. Substitution out here for California. Sims going to make his way off of the field there for Cal. I believe it's going to be Reyes for the Vulcans. Eduardo Reyes for the Vulcans and on the far side. Odegaard with the ball on the ground getting cut out. The Vulcans able to clip it all the way to the other side. Reyes wins the header. Odegaard able to get in the way. Wojtovich now under a bunch of pressure, going to get taken down by Lamb. Quick feet from Wojtovich. Good job, able to break the pressure there for Cal.
Yeah, Lamb giving the old J.R. Smith treatment. He had no clue what was going on there. He was not happy with the referee and gave him a bit of words. And again, you're seeing a little bit of that lack of communication here going on with the Vulcans. They're just not able to thread their passes where they need to be. They're just not able to set themselves where they need to be. And as you see, it's led to a lot of this play in the second half in their own zone.
Yeah, Odegaard under a ton of pressure and couldn't get rid of it. Now it's Cesar able to get it through to Harris, and Harris floating it towards the back post, and he can't get it to go. Everything was right but the finish. Harris dribbled it off the ground, tried to pass it into the back of the net, and it just clips off the post and goes out of play. The Vulcans catch a huge break.
And Smith, the awareness on him, just able to see where that ball was being placed, knowing that it was going to go too far and just letting it go, not throwing himself or stretching himself and risk getting a putback. And beautiful play, and the Vulcans get another chance here.
Randy Harris for the Pioneers nearly cut it to a one-goal game. The junior out of Trinidad and Tobago had a chance to get the Pioneers back in, and he's on the ball once again. It gets it right back. And Harris going at it. 3 Vulcans swarming around him to win the ball back, and the Vulcans finally able to get it out of their own end. It's going to be Bilas trying to chase it down. Wojtovich with the pressure for California. Garrett. Wojtovich and Bilas linking up, but Bilas going to get called for the foul. DiPiero takes the free kick for Malone. Header won by California into the space and going to go off of Harris and out of play.
Yeah, and if you've noticed, the Malone's kept the ball on the near side and kept feeding it over to Harris because, I mean, no one's been able to really keep an eye on him and stop him.
DiPiero able to win the header. Percival comes out of the defense and tries to win it back. It's going to end up at the feet of Reyes. Reyes going for the shot of his own, and steady hands at the back this time for Mastroni with his first kind of foot in this game. Long ball taken quickly, and Harris able to take a nice touch, able to bring this one down as Malone tried to spring attack of their own. Moo with the turn, runs into Bilas, and now the Vulcans upping the pressure here. DiPiero able to work his way away from Wojtovich. Garrett trying to clip this ball down the left channel, trying to find Harris on this near side, but that ball goes out of play.
And I mean, Mastroni saw his first action at all for the second half and almost 12, 13 minutes in. And I mean, if you're the Vulcans now, I would say definitely you need to start putting way more pressure on because you've been allowing Malone to get these opportunities and play through the midfield into your box.
It's been a slow start to the second half here for California, 31-42 and going. It's been all Malone in this second half and knocking on the door a few times, but California have been able to keep the game at 3-1. There's going to be time taken. So I believe a player injured for Malone on the far side. Clock's going to stop with 31:25 left to play. Looks like it was number 5 there for Malone. Logan Scherer, the midfielder, going to stumble his way off the field. Good thing he was near the sideline so he didn't have to walk a great distance. Going to sit down and get some treatment into the game now. It's going to be number 6, Alex Bibza, into the game here for the Pioneers. Harris able to get a head on it. Gets that one out of play on this near side. Vulcan throw. Ball in the hands of Wojtovich. Wojtovich able to get it into the corner to Gretz. Gretz's ball only able to get it towards Garrett. Bibsba able to get it clear. Lamb. Good hold-up play. Able to find Bibsba on this near side, and Bibsba able to get around Odegaard with nice little nutmeg. Bibsba going for the outside of the foot. Cross is trying to play it into the path of Cesar. And Smith able to get in front of that one. Vulcans playing dangerously here, under a ton of pressure here in the back and just trying to play it around. Odegaard surrounded by 2 or 3 players trying to find Reyes on this far side, but that pass goes askew. Reyes doing his best to get back in and defend. Reyes is going to win a throw, and I think that's exactly what you need if you're California, to try to break this pressure, get yourself out of your own half.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've mentioned it. It's just they've been locked within their own zone, even around the midfield. And even when they are able to finally push past the midfield, it's usually just a quick shot or just one very small opportunity that doesn't amount to anything. And I mean, it's been allowing Malone to take charge of everything and command the game how they want it to be played.
Wojtovich going to get substituted out for California. Zimmerman for the Vulcans going to come in. It's going to be Bailus. Bellows trying to get the ball. Going to get called for the offside. And the assistant official on the near side over here just went a bit too early. Billis still doing a ton of running, but has not been on the ball as much in the second half, as have the Vulcans just not been entirely on it so far. Guerra with the diagonal ball, able to find Harris, but Harris stumbled on the touch, and Odegaard just lets it go. Thought Smith was going to come out and get it. Smith too late, and Harris never gave up on the play, able to get the ball, run around the keeper, and run it into the back of the net. It's a 1-goal game now. 29:08 left to play. It's 3-2.
I mean, if you've been watching since the start of the second half, you can't say that you're surprised. I mean, Harris has been absolutely all over the ball, and the defense has had no answer for him. And there's been miscommunication after miscommunication with the Vulcan defense. And, I mean, Odegaard lets that go because it looked like it was going to be Smith's ball. But Smith just also kind of lets up thinking that Odegaard's going to take it. Very little communication, lets to another mistake. And that's 2 goals in this game that lead off of mistakes from the goalkeepers.
Yeah, both, I think Odegaard and Smith, they're both just caught in no man's land. Like you said, Odegaard was just trying to shield it, waiting for Smith to come out. Smith thought Odegaard was going to come on to him more and try to get it out. But the whole time, Harris was right there and able to make it a 1-goal game. And it's going to make it a nervy last half an hour here for the Vulcans down the stretch. Like, it's been all Malone in this second half. Constant pressure, constant everything. The Vulcans have been pinned in their half for 95% of the half. I've barely made it. Have seen it go into the Malone attack, or the Vulcans attacking third of the pitch. And so maybe the way that Malone has kind of waked up after every time the Vulcans score, maybe this is a chance for the Vulcans to their wake-up call to try to catapult themselves back into command of this game.
I mean, yeah, obviously, if you're sitting at home or you're sitting in the stands, that's what you want. But again, as you're watching now, it's Malone's just able to take control and get their way through the defense with very little communication on the Vulcan side.
Bibbs cross off of Morelli out of play, throw in deep in the corner. And Malone going to send a few players up. Did we get it into Moo? Well, under some pressure. Olsen putting on for California. Great feet from Moo, able to get away from the Vulcans. Clip ball towards Sizar. Sizar is in, and Sizar's shot goes just wide. And again, great pass from Moo. And Sizar had the open opportunity. Just that one just came off the side of his foot out of play. Another golden chance for them to get another goal.
And it's another notch on the board of just the Vulcans just getting beat. I mean, every single time the ball goes in the zone in the second half, it's almost as if Malone is just able to beat them every single time, whether that be through lack of communication or just mistakes being made on the Vulcan defense.
And Malone just able to find these pockets of space where their players are able to run into, and so far Malone have just making all the right passes, just haven't been able to get the finishing touches as Sizar going to get called for offsides. And again, it's just the midfield play and the forward play. The forward play for Malone, the forwards moving all around the place, every one of them swapping sides, moving in and around. It's been a nightmare for the Vulcans to defend as they take a quick free kick and the Vulcans win it, or Malone win it right back. Sizar Cuts it back onto his right, able to find Lamb inside. Lamb with the awkward touch, but trying to get it away. Cross shot. Odegaard gets back, or Percival gets back in there and clears it off the line. Malone still have the pressure. Cross into the box. Bibsba wins the header. Sizer goes up for a false for Bibsba again. The shot to DiPiero, who takes it with the right and slices it out of play.
Just not able to get the curve that he wants, and it actually looks like they were able to get the ball back in pretty quickly.
They were able to keep it in, actually. It stayed in play. The Vulcans can't get it out. Pinned deep, and that one's going to be an offside, and California can take a breath, but they haven't found an answer. It's been 20 minutes straight of Pioneer dominance. We haven't seen Pioneers dominate like this since the Civil War. It's just been all Malone.
I mean, and the Vulcans can't even take a breath because it seems as though every single time one of them tries to take a breath, you either got a Lamb on your back, you got Cesar on your back, you got somebody on your back that's just going to move around you and bully you around. And I mean, the Vulcans just have gotten nothing so far out of this half. It's actually like they've slumped back a bit.
Cesar clip ball into the channel for Bibsba. Bibsba has the chance. That one rocketed off of Morelli's face and out of play. Putting everything on the line is Morelli. He's going to go down for a little bit. I mean, that's a tough one. Took a hard cross straight to the face from 2-3 feet away. Not a chance to get out of the way of that one.
I mean, this half's just been a nightmare. I mean, now Morelli gets slammed in the face by a ball. I mean, the defense is getting cooked. There's been absolutely very little midfield play. It's been a half of all time.
Really able to get back to his feet. Two players now in the corner for the Pioneers to take it. Cesar in, only able to find Odegaard at the near post. Ball's going to go out of play. Moo. Take the quick throw. At one point there, all 10 of the outfield players for Malone were inside of the Vulcan half. Moo trying to find Cesar in the corner. Morelli able to head that one out. That one's going to be a throw on the near side. It's going to be Gradle to take it.
It's crazy to think is that there are still 24 minutes left in this half, and I mean, for almost all the time we've been here in this half, it's just been all Malone.
DiPiero, his cross headed away. Moo trying to recycle it back into DiPiero, who does a great job at keeping the ball in play. Nice turn to get away from the Vulcans. Gradle cut back, able to get away from his defender. Trying to work it onto the right foot. Gets it off to Moo. Moo now working into the corner. The Pioneers doing a great job at overloading the side. Bibsba, free shot from Cesar, who kicks that one into the ground. Should have done better there. I think he had way more time than he thought he did. Just couldn't pick out his spot. That one's going to get clear, but the Pioneers going right back at it again. Cesar, able to nice flick inside. Ball back to him. 1-2 play. Cesar gets around his defender. Plays the ball across. Nobody there. Moo collects on the far side. Shot from Moo. That one going high and wide. And the Vulcans are on the brink right now. It is looking grim. They're like the car that is right on the edge of the cliff, ready to fall in. And they just need someone on this bench. A couple of substitutions going to be made here for Cal, and maybe this could just be the chance for them to just pull themselves a little bit further away and try to just do something, relieve this pressure. And the time's going to stop. It's going to lead us to the second hydration break of the game, the first one of this half, and Coach Sabic there for the Vulcans has a lot on his plate to try to get his team to do here and try to hold on to this game with 23 minutes left. If I was out in the stands, I'd probably be doing the same thing because Malone are right there. They're on the precipice of just getting that second goal of the half, tying things up here. And if they're able to get a goal back here in the next 10 minutes or so, you're talking about a wild last 13 minutes of the game.
I mean, I would not be shocked if you see that happen. It's all been Malone. I mean, it's just simple plays by the Vulcan defense, the Vulcan midfield, everybody. It's just simple plays that have just been beaten. And Vulcans haven't had any answers for it.
Yeah, the Vulcans' backs are against the wall. Can they put up a fight and try to fend off the valiant efforts of Malone? Free kick one in the middle of the field. Malone tried to take it quickly, but referee going to bring this one back because the ball wasn't placed in the right spot. Moo coming over. Gets it out wide, cross towards into the box. That one going to go past everyone and Herndon. Just going to let that one run out of play.
We're also hoping that coming off of the water break that your substitutions are going to be able to make a bit more of an impact. I mean, obviously some of these guys are going to be pretty tired. Having to run up and down the pitch. But, I mean, sometimes it's those bench players that can come off the bench and, leave that mark.
Even if you are in very good fitness, it is extremely hard to play a full 90 minutes, especially in the type of weather conditions that they're playing in right now. Like you said, the game, as the sun's gone down, has cooled off a bit, but it is still unbelievably hot.
Oh, it's still a solid 80 degrees with humidity.
Bibbs trying to dance through the Vulcan defense, but Odegaard able to get it out and away. Throw in taken quickly. Cross into the box, cut out immediately by Morelli, and he needed to. Moo. Out wide towards Gradle. Gradle working it onto the right foot. Gets it inside to Sizar. Sizar. Extra pass. Shot taken from the outside of the box, and that one going high and wide. Pot shot taken from Isaac, the right back, and even though it's another chance for Malone, I think if you're the Vulcans, I think that's one you're willing to kind of concede and give up. If their best opportunity in that phase was a shot from your right back from way outside of the box, I think the Vulcans will be pretty happy with that.
You're going to notice a lot of shots, too, from Malone have ended up high and wide, too. And it's been something that they haven't necessarily adjusted for when going for these longer shots.
Yeah, a lot of the players just leaning up a little bit, taking the shots. Because the more you lean up, the harder it is to keep the ball down. As the Vulcans finally able to break it past the midfield line as Herndon takes the touch, but that one way too heavy. And Malone went it right back. DiPiero trying to work his way past, but good defensive work from the Vulcans. Able to finally win the ball. McNeil gets it back to Morelli. Morelli off to Smith and almost left that one too short. Smith able to clear that one away.
I mean, you almost saw another Odegaard-Smith situation there again with just miscommunication between the defense and the goalie.
Percival loses control of it, and Malone now on the attack. Byrus on the far side keeps it in play. Early ball into the box, headed out by Odegaard. Bylus comes back to win the ball. Good defensive work by the striker. Able to come back, and the Vulcans have a chance to counter. Trying to play it into the space, but none of the Vulcans are there. But that one's going to fall kindly to Percival. Olsen. Extra pass over towards the top of the box. Offside going to be called. And if you're Cal, you cannot. You need to be able to get a shot off in that phase of play, in that opportunity. Finally able to break on the counter with some numbers. And it's going to end up in an offside call against Cal.
Yeah, and I mean, in a situation like that, that's your heart just drops because you're finally able to get past that midfield. You're finally able to get it out of your own zone. And, I mean, it's just some small little mistake that you make again, and you just wind up where you started.
Good defensive work by Rifkin on that far side, winning the ball back and winning a throw. Throwing a strong tackle in there. And you see, for the Vulcans, McMill just telling Rifkin to calm down. As the header, the throw-in headed out of play by Garrett, so the Vulcans able to slowly work their way back up the field with 18:30 left to go here in the second half. Header won by Malone. Second ball won by Malone. It's going to come off of a Vulcan out of play, so Malone throw. Another throw one from the Pioneers, and again, it's just working their way up the field ever so slowly. Just going to take all these throws out of bounds all day long. Sizar able to work his way. Tackle from Odegaard. Unbelievable. That's the best play all night. I don't care. I don't care. That just saved the game. Sizar was in on net in a inch-perfect tackle from Odegaard. Keeps the Vulcans from letting Sizar seize his opportunity.
And I mean, that's just the frame. This 6'2", 180-pound frame just able to stop any sort of chance there. An absolutely beautiful display of defense there from the Swede, and stops a prime opportunity from the Malone offense.
Put that on a highlight reel, man. I'm telling you, that is just the feat of athleticism it takes to do that, because an inch wrong on that tackle, you're talking about a penalty going the way of Malone. As they're going to stop the clock here with 17:06. I'm waiting to see what the referee, I think, has allowed the game to go back under play. But like I said, that tackle from Odegaard, if he messes it up even by a fraction of a second, that's a penalty going the way of Malone, and that's the chance to get back into the game. So great play by him, and the Vulcans still hold on.
I mean, it's starting to switch back. I know trying to avoid the caster curse, but you're seeing the Vulcans now starting to finally get that fight back within them. They're starting to see those opportunities again. The field's starting to open up, and I think ever since they came out of the break, the substitutes have been able to make their impact, and Vulcans are seeing the pitch a little more clear.
And Rifkin not gonna take a sweet old time. Take that throw in. Trying to get into the box towards Olsen. That one headed back. And the pass towards Morelli, nearly lose it. In fact, he does. It's going to be Sizar able to come away with it. Has a couple of players in support. Sizar, the shot saved by Smith. And offside going to be called, as it was Lamb on the back post who just tailed away just past the defender and ahead of the ball. The Vulcans catch another break.
And, I mean, what a save by Smith, too. I mean, he's already stopping that ball. I mean, the whistle blows as Lamb's taking that shot, so Smith's already set himself. Lamb's already taking that shot. So by the time it goes off, that's just a beautiful save by Smith, and he's able, again, to save the game for the Vulcans. And what a half this has turned into now.
Yeah, the Vulcans are just taking punch after punch after punch, and are still trying to move on to the next round in the fight. Harrington coming away with it, but another strong tackle from the Pioneers, and now the Pioneers looking to break. Gradle on the far side has a couple in support. Gradle able to get it inside. Good defensive effort to get that one away. I think it was Percival on the tackle that time. Harrington with the turn, trying to find Olsen, but only finds it as far as the Pioneers. Another great ball as the Pioneers are in again, in a near post shot attempt by Byrish, trying to catch him out, but Smith, I think smartfully, always knew that one was going to go wide.
And we go back to the point of another shot by Malone and another shot just wide. I mean, on the near side, of course, but still, just plain up not able to find the spot or even aim for the spot that he wants. And, I mean, that goes another wasted opportunity from the Malone offense.
Percival going to come out of the game here for the Vulcans. Gretz going to come back in, and the goal scorer, Harris, back into the game on this left side of the Malone attack. 14 minutes to go here in the second half. The Vulcans nursing a 1-goal lead. But Malone knocking on the door, as it's Schmidt dancing through everybody. Nearly able to break through, but the Vulcans able to close up shop, and Bylus now putting on the pressure. Olsen in his support. Herndon trying to find Bylus, but good defense from the Pioneers, and now it's Harris. Harris looking for an opportunity, gets past one, and Herndon doing a good job of using his body for not allowing him to get past the second.
Yeah, and I mean, Harris all night's been able to cut the defense up with those crafty moves, but Herndon standing his ground and gets the throw.
Herndon long throw. Garrett, I think, not exactly what he wanted, but just going to head that one out of play. Allows the Vulcans to move themselves up the field. Not something that we've said a whole lot of here in the second half. Herndon looking for an option here. Harrington running around in the box. So is Olsen. Olsen able to get a back heel flick on it, but the Pioneers able to clear it away. Morelli brings it down, but under a ton of pressure. Metz. And a whistle going to be blown. That one going to go against Schmidt as he ran down Morelli on the backside, going to get called for the foul. And the Vulcans in no rush to take this free kick and to let everyone move up and try to milk as much clock as possible. 12:20 left to go, and I said if they were able to get a goal in 10 minutes, it's going to be a wild last 13 minutes. So we're into that time of my prediction here. Malone able to keep that one in and able to keep it away from the Vulcans. Moo spins away, trying to clear it upfield. Morelli trying to clip it back in, but good defensive work from Harrington, able to win it back for Cal. Harrington inside trying to find one of the Vulcans, but Bylus doing a good job at tackling, coming back and trying to win it for Cal. That one ends up going out of play, but they're going to be pinned deep in their own half. Well, it's Wertmuller coming back into the game, and it's going to take a long throw, and Schmidt able to get it to Harris, and Harris trying to go to work. That one going to clip off of Odegaard out of play. Harris is just so fast as Gretz, able to win the ball back, and going to get tripped up as Harris was trying to win it. And looks like another card's going to get thrown the Pioneers' way. This one going to go against Di Piero, and I think that one's going to go into the category of dissent, as I think maybe he had a couple of words that you probably couldn't say to the referee.
I mean, no, I don't think we could say them either. And
I think it was brewing all night. I think it was. I think he's been a little bit upset about some of the calls going against the Pioneers, and I think was trying to vent some of those frustrations.
Yeah, and coming through the second half of this second half, it's been a lot of Bylus. I mean, you notice how he didn't play much of the ball in the beginning part of this second half because it was mostly within his own end, but now he's played a lot more on ball, and the Vulcans have been able to secure their own holds. So you've seen a lot more offensive opportunities and a lot of offensive ball movement on the side of the Vulcans.
Percival gets ran down, a free kick going to go away the way of California, and like I said, the Vulcans are in no rush to take this one. 10:43 left to go here in the second half. The Vulcans holding on by a thread to this 1-goal lead. It's going to be Morelli with the free kick, just trying to clip it towards the back post, trying to find Olsen. That one headed away. Brought down by the Vulcans and Harrington, and he's going to get called with a handball. And the Pioneers going quickly. Cesar just going all the way down the right side. Little stop and go, and he's able to get around the defender. Cesar able to work himself into a good crossing spot, and that one's going to get cleared out of play by Pinero on the far side. So a corner going the way of the Pioneers. Another golden opportunity as both teams going to make some substitutions. Harris going to come off of the field there for the Pioneers. The end of the game now is Gradle once again. It's going to be Wertmuller with the set piece. Left foot near the back post. Garrett wins the first header, but traveling backwards heads that one out of play.
Yeah, and Ruiz just wasn't able to find the hole after traveling so far down the far side of the pitch, and Not able to find it, gets the corner, not able to find much there either. And if you're looking at this from the Vulcan perspective, you've already pushed a lot farther into the offensive zone than I think they were expecting to coming out of the second half. And you got to hope that they're able to continue that on and push further.
Smith's kick contested in the middle of the field and won back by the Pioneers. It's Moo. Moo, nice stop and turn. Plays the ball into the right channel. It's going to be Byrus looking for the cross. That one's going to come off of a Vulcan, out of play for another corner. Corner taken quickly. Worthmuller, left-footed shot, and Odegaard had to stand in the way, able to clear that one away with the header.
And again, that frame coming into play, able to block another shot. These big-bodied defenders playing a big key part in this latter half of the second.
Worthmuller now over to take the corner. Another deep corner for the Pioneers. That one's going to land, and the Vulcan's going to let that one roll all the way through out of play. 8:14 left. Vulcans make another substitution. And whoever is going to be taken off here for California, I think it's going to be Harrington, is definitely going, is not trying to get off the field very quickly. As it's going to be McCoy coming back into the game here for Cal. Long ball, won by the Vulcans. McCoy comes back onto it. Bit of a heavy first touch. The Vulcans able to try to recycle possession. Nice moves from Gretz, able to get away from his defender. But the Pioneers poke that one out of play. And again, the Vulcans taking every trick out of the book. Looks like this time, though, they've pushed the buttons a little bit too much on our official here today. I think that's going to be a yellow card given to Rifkin on that far side for time wasting.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't argue against it. I mean, they've obviously been pushing the button. They've been stirring the pot a little too much, so it's bound to happen.
Trying to take every advantage you can in a game like this where you're just trying to see it out, but can't get caught again. That's McCoy just trying to win the possession back. Good defense from Olsen. Just that one comes off of him, though, so good pressure from him. It's going to be a goal kick going towards Malone. Malone going quickly. Garrett. Garrett with a bit of a heavy pass, but DiPiero able to come back and collect. Mastrione. Tons of time and space here for Schmidt, able to turn and able to find Sizar. Sizar, nice diagonal ball towards Gradle. Gradle has a chance to come onto it, left foot. And again, looks like he got caught in between wanting to take the shot and wanting to go for the pass. That one was too strong. It's going to go out of play for a throw on the far side.
And, I mean, with 6 minutes left, down one, you need to be able to make those quick decisions. You can't just throw it up there and, try and decide mid-kick what you want to do with it.
Referee waving Rifkin back, telling him to take the free kick, or take the throw-in, and Rifkin doesn't have a lot of time to get it off, but able to get that one out of his hands. DiPiero. Now Moo. Nice turn away from the pressure from Worthmuller. Malone going at it on that far side. It's going to be Byrus. Byrus looking to get around the outside. Going to get taken down by Rifkin. So free kick in a corner spot on that far side. And the Pioneers going to send everyone, almost everyone up. Every outfield player inside of the Vulcan half. Ready to just smother them inside with 5 minutes and left here in this second half. Worthmuller's free kick going towards the back post. Garrett wins the header and heads it home. But there's going to be a foul called. The referee said that Garrett grabbed onto his shoulders and fouled the Vulcans, so that goal isn't going to count.
I mean, that's just a hard dropper. I mean, what can I say? I mean, that was the opportunity. That was the chance. That was supposed to be the tying goal, but I mean, no.
And so close again, and the Vulcans catch another break. I think all the players maybe need to play their lottery tonight after the way that the game has been kind to them here today. And with 4:45 left, they're on life support now, and Malone just doing everything they can. Malone's still down by a goal, and have had 4 or 5, 6 attempts at it at the second half to try to level things here, but the Vulcans still standing strong. Floater towards the back post. Olsen doesn't get the clearance away. DiPiero shot, and Smith had to make the save, and he does. Oh my goodness.
I mean, there's no better way to end this game. I mean, it looked like it was all Malone in the first latter half of the second, and now it's just been Malone attacking.
Corner taken quickly, and Smith able to corral it. And if you're not watching this game, you're missing out on an extremely entertaining and action-packed second half, as the Vulcans still holding on to this 1-goal lead. Olsen wins that with his back. As Bailu's able to get it out wide. And Rifkin in a ton of space, and Rifkin scores! Wow! Against all odds, the Vulcans strike again. The only shot they've had this entire half. His team is swarming in for good reason.
I mean,
he can do it all.
Let's go swimming. Let's go golfing. Let's score another goal. I mean, that was an absolute snipe from the outside from Josh Rifkin. And I mean, like I said, what can he do? He's scoring goals, threatening the needle. I mean, what a game this is. This is astonishing.
Wow, man.
You know, when I made that graphic,
he picked it out.
That all of you saw at the beginning of the game, I chose Peyton Smith. And I was like, okay, he's just a goalkeeper. Save after save. And, I mean, wow. I'm out of words.
A left foot made out of gold. Josh Rifkin may have just sealed the victory here for the Vulcans. That could have been the dagger with 3:32 left to play.
And, I mean, what a heartbreak it is on the Malone side. I mean, they had the goal taken back due to the foul, and that would have been a beautiful header goal to tie the game up, but no, just a small mistake, and Rifkin takes it back on the other end, snipe after snipe, and boom, boom.
Completely against the run of play. This game, it's been a foul called against the Pioneers. As I believe it's Reyes going down in a heap after a strong challenge on that far side. But this half has gone on for 42 minutes, and it's been Pioneer dominance for 42 minutes. But the Vulcans, stead strong, only give up 1 goal. They bend, but they didn't break, and they were able to just keep themselves in the game, keep themselves with the lead. And Rifkin with that magical moment.
I mean, what else do we say? I mean,
need I say more?
Need we say more? I think, needn't we not? I think that goal just spoke for itself, and I think Gary's gonna have a fun time editing the highlights tonight after that.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna have a great time fixing the audio after after we're yelling it into him. We definitely peaked on that, and well, so that is I don't envy his job here tonight. And Morelli kicks that one into the trees out of the stands. 2:52 left to go. The Vulcans up by 2. And Malone not going quietly into the night. As it's Sizar going down. No fouls called. That one's going to go out for a goal kick. My heart is not meant to handle this, man. My heart rate is through the roof right now. I can just feel it. That goal.
4 hours.
I mean, that goal sent me into into a spiral. I mean, we don't need to talk about my sleeping habits, all right?
Well, I mean, you did come in at like 12:31 today or something like that, and was like, I got 4 hours of sleep. I'm wired to the wall as you ran around.
I was.
Pushing chairs
There was
around.
a lot of. I had a lot of strong emotions this morning after a very interesting night last night, and it's led to a great afternoon here at the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex as the Vulcans on the brink of taking this game from Malone. Malone, if they want to win, they need to strike quick. 2:20 left here in the second half. Miscue by Malone by Maroney. No foul called. The Pioneers play on. It's going to be Schmidt on this outside ball into the box, cleared out by the Vulcans. Good touch away from Gretz. And they're going to stop play. And every player trying to figure out why, and I think it's because there's a player down for the Vulcans in the middle of the field that is going to need some attention from the medical staff. Just inside of the center circle there for California. Clock stops with 1:59 left to play.
And specifically, you saw Randall was screaming. I mean, he had just heard the whistle and was irate, thinking that they just stopped the play for no reason. But, I mean, unfortunate turn of events here in the final two.
I mean, what a way for California to get your to potentially get your first win of the season here, as it was Olsen down for the Vulcans. He's back on his feet, but he's going to have to make his way off the pitch. Harrington coming back in here for Cal, and I mean, what a first game here at home. Oh, no, the second game at home.
The second game
at home. First soccer game that
first CTV game
that we've covered here at the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex this year. A 6-goal thriller of a game that probably could have been 15 goals if we're being honest.
Well, I mean, I think it's the CUTV magic, you know? It's the magic of Gary Smith and Casa de la Kiefer.
I don't know where any of this magic was in years prior, where it was some nail-biting 0-0-0-1 games, but both teams, the Vulcans and the Pioneers, putting on the display. Randall looking for to win the header. Harrington trying to clip it through to Randall. But great goalkeeping by Mastroni, able to come out and collect. 1:29 left to play. And Malone just it's still taking their time, just not seem to be in a bit of a rush. And Vulcans clear this one back up the field. And Randall coming out, and Mastroni thought maybe he was going to come out to get it, but Randall running it down in the corner. And it's going to be Randall called for the fouls. He was trying to push one of the Malone defenders out of the way, even though he kind of got sideswiped there at the end. Now we're under a minute here at the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex. The Vulcans with a 2-goal lead that maybe they shouldn't have had in this second half after the way things played, but resilient the Vulcans have been, and as that ball goes out of play off of Malone, the Vulcans are going to snatch their first win of the season.
Yeah, and I mean, it's as I mentioned when we started off, I think games like these where it's teams that are very equal within skill and standing, it's a big teller of how they handle the adversity of the season. I mean, both teams not starting out with a positive record yet, but a game like this can really change that and can really shift the momentum of their seasons, of their players' development, and as a team as a whole.
Randall fouling a player going to get given a yellow card for a hefty challenge near his own benches. Like we talk about, this is a chance for the Vulcans to get things started on the right foot. 0-1-1 coming into this game. Triple ones now at the end. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. And the Pioneers going to drop to 0-2. And I think for both teams in this game, I think both teams have some positive things to look at. If you're Malone, I think you can talk about the fight, how they were able to come back, and how dominant they were able to be. But I think just working on those final touches, those finishing chances, there were 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 opportunities I could list them on and on here in the second half that they could have scored on, but just unable to get that finishing touch. And if you're Cal, just doing the same things again, just being so resilient, so strong, and able to get a lead and hold on to it. And that's going to be the final whistle here at the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex. Nate, any final thoughts from today?
I love Vulcan soccer, and it's been a beauty to cast with you, buddy. I always love a good old athletic event here.
And the yellow card after the whistle going to be given to Wojtovich.
That's just more paperwork for him.
He's going to have some fun doing that later. And that is your final here at the Phillipsburg Soccer Complex. California 4, Malone University 2. From our director, Mr. Gary Smith, and J.J. Robinson, I believe, today was also in the director's chair. From my broadcast partner, Nate Kurtz, my name is John Sape. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you guys all next time on CUTV, CUTV Sports 1, and the PSAC Network. Good night, California.